Calgary-West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our PC caucus, in a spirit of collaboration, made a $4 billion challenge that reflects Alberta's culture of fiscal responsibility. The challenge provided means for cost savings that would have sent message to Albertans and credit rating agencies that your government takes deficits and debt seriously. Instead, we are aghast to see a budget that ratchets up spending and debt to unparalleled levels. To the Finance Minister, why did you not even consider our PC caucus's well-thought-out recommendations to control spending?
Wow. Minister of Finance.
You know, I did engage briefly in your document, but I was kind of busy kind of working on the budget for government and bringing that in. We also had thousands of Albertans, not unlike the opposition in the collection of information they provided, but thousands of Albertans who, through telephone town halls, emails to my office, and in going around the province, gave us their suggestions. Those, too, have found their way into our budget.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that the Finance Minister misrepresents the limitation of his cost-saving choices to, and I quote from his budget speech, firing thousands of teachers and nurses, and given that he is the only one talking about laying off teachers and nurses, and given that there are efficiencies to be found in a $51 billion provincial budget, Minister, are you seriously telling Albertans that there is no other way of finding savings other than laying off teachers and nurses?
Yes. Deputy Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The third party in their election planned on cutting nearly $1 billion from healthcare. The official opposition, in their address last week, talked about returning to some of the proven mechanisms of the 1990s. Let's remember the 1990s. Let's remember teachers being laid off, nurses being laid off, the Calgary General Hospital being demolished, and that big plume of smoke. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker. Albertans had a choice, and they chose our government because we believe in healthcare and education and protecting our future.
Had to do with administration and efficiencies. Given that the Finance Minister and Premier failed to credit our previous government for creating our low debt-to-GDP ratio, which they are now destroying, and given that the business and individual Albertans have enjoyed the lowest overall tax system in Canada, once again, thanks to the previous government, and given that Albertans recognize the carbon tax is an ideological effort at wealth redistribution, to the Finance Minister again, why is this budget such a drastic departure from Alberta's long-held heritage of fiscal pride?
Yes. Deputy Premier.
There was a long-held heritage of electing the same government that made the same decisions time and time again. And Albertans had a choice in the last election, and they chose a different vision. They chose a vision that would protect children, that would protect our seniors, that would continue to move forward and be environmentally and economically sustainable and reasonable. And in terms of talking about pragmatism, certainly the leader of the official opposition supported 5 consecutive deficit budgets. The only time he seems to oppose them is when he's on the other side of the aisle, Mr. Speaker.